Hi everyone. Quick Qualtrics update. I made a couple changes to the template and I am about to share it with one member from each group. So I want to leave some additional instructions here in how to proceed with getting your individual group project up and running. So again, here is our template survey. So to keep this simple, I'm going to share it with one person from each group. And I'm going to kind of show how you can then add, you can make a copy of the survey and then add your group mates to it. But just to show you the few changes I made here. So still left you informed consent information there. I added a few demographic questions. Again, I think you're going to want at least these 3 questions, and you can add others in this block if you want to by using that create a new question option there. And you can edit these questions if you want to edit the gender or race, ethnicity question. You can. These are the kind of default options that you're going to have to compare to the Dominican University population. So it's probably good to pick those, although I edited the gender one a little bit to have additional options there. You really should leave the age one as is, especially because I made it another check to make sure that everybody participating is at least 18 years old. I also added the subjective well-being scale, the satisfaction with life scale that every group is using. So that's one last thing that you have to type in yourself, but also to show an example of what for most of you, each of your scales will actually look like, right? So if you click on any question, this little box on the right then shows you what type of question it is, and you can change it if you want to. But like I said, the matrix table works really well for these Likert scale type questions. And then, after it opens up a default matrix table, you can change the number of statements and the scale points. And there's lots of kind of automatic scale points that you can use. So this covers kind of most of the types of things that you would see for your different scales. And again, it's pretty easy to change those, which is great. So another thing I want to point out is that you should check what the default scoring that it's going to use is. So we're using the subjective well-being, the satisfaction with life scale from 1 to 7. These are the 5 questions, right? And so the way to check to make sure what the values are going to be, if you click on that little gearbox and go to recode values, and it says, okay, look, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just the way we want, like it is on the file that's up on Canvas that I shared with you, right? But if your scale, for example, is from 0 to 5 or 0 to 10, which some of them might be, then you'll want to make sure that you can go in here and actually change these to be the numbers that you want them to be. So that's an important option to keep in mind, right? So you can fill in your other scales. And again, if you need to add another scale, you can add a block and name it the way you want to. And don't forget about your debriefing text at the end, right? So this is a little more filled in. So hopefully it's easy for you to jump in, right? So again, I'm going to share this with one individual from each group. And so for that person, what you're going to want to do, it should, after it's shared with you, show up under your projects tab on Qualtrics. And so then you should see the 290 survey blank template there. And again, don't edit the template because that's something that is shared with multiple people. But if you click on the 3 little dots at the right-hand side, you'll see an option to copy project, right? And so if you create a copy, then you can name it with your team name or name it, what your survey is about. That's fine, right? But then you'll edit that actual copy instead of the template itself. And then when you're in your copy, you're going to want to add your teammates so that they can also edit. And you can do that under Tools. There's an option to collaborate, and you can add the person's email address there. Make sure you use their at my.dom.edu email address, because that's how they'll actually have access. All right, so that should be the little extra information you need to get going. Again, please try and get going on this soon so that we can have your surveys up and running by Monday or Tuesday next week, and you'll have as much time as possible to collect data. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck. Talk to you soon.